And now, will everyone please rise for the academic procession? Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and welcome Cal State LA student Ana Rangel, who will sing the National Anthem, accompanied by the Cal State LA Brass Quintet.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled
Please be seated. Good evening, students, honored family members, and friends. I'm Dr. Cheryl Ney, Dean of the Charter College of Education, and I want to welcome you to our 2018 commencement ceremony. Welcome. Students, over the course of your academic career, our faculty, administration, and staff have shared with you valuable information about the world of education that informs and excites them. They have focused their expertise on your success to prepare you for your career in education, to serve children, youth, and adults in our local communities. Faculty have become your mentors, and for many of you, your colleagues. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge and thank the Chair of the Academic Senate, Veena Prabhu, the members of the faculty, emeriti faculty and staff representing the university's 6 colleges, the John F. Kennedy Memorial Library, and the university's administration for assisting you to excel and achieve in your goals. Will these members of the university community please stand and be recognized? All right, students. Stand, stand. Up, faculty, up, 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 up. Thank you. Please be seated. All right, now please join me in welcoming the president of Cal State LA, Dr. William A. Covino.
Well, congratulations, class of 2018. Want to introduce one more very important person, the First Lady of Cal State LA, the initiator of our Mind Matters initiative that is focused on the well-being of our students, and the recent winner of a Mental Health Hero Award from the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. That's Debbie Covino. She's back there. I want to open with a couple of questions. How many of you, or which of you among our doctoral graduates today are the first in your families to receive a doctoral degree? First in your families. Okay. All right. Yeah. You can tell they're getting doctoral degrees because if you ask that to baccalaureate students, they yell and scream and stamp their feet. But by the time it's time for it, they just sort of raise their hand. It's very, very well behaved. How many of our master's degree students today are the first in their families to receive master's degrees? And how many baccalaureate students are the first in your families to receive a bachelor's degree? Yeah, all right, okay. Congratulations, congratulations. You've made it, you've worked hard for this accomplishment. You've persevered, you've excelled, and today we're celebrating you. We're celebrating all that you've achieved and all that is yet to come. In the story of your life, your time at Cal State LA is, I propose, a pivotal chapter. During your time here, we have witnessed world-changing events together. California became the world's 5th largest economy, expanding opportunities that await you as you graduate. Political changes on the national scene created new priorities and new challenges. And the voices of students determined to serve the public good became an even more impactful force for change. During your time here, advances in technology gave us new tools for teaching, new ways to help educate and unlock the potential of students, new ways to meet the challenges faced by urban schools. And you, class of 2018, you are the creators of tomorrow. During your time here, you each experienced a personal transformation, as profound as events we lived through together. You are not the same person that you were when you first set foot on campus. You came here with a plan to learn more, to focus your major on a career path, or perhaps embark on a new one. You will leave Cal State LA with knowledge and experiences that will help propel you forward into rewarding careers, rewarding research, rewarding personal and professional relationships. I hope you'll always remember, as I know you will, the faculty who taught and mentored you and helped you become the accomplished graduate you are today, along with the friends who encouraged you and the community that embraced you. You shared in important events in the life of the university community. Together, we celebrated Cal State LA's 70th anniversary. We launched new initiatives. We stood in the spotlight when a study in the New York Times ranked Cal State LA #1 in the nation for the upward mobility of our students. So this all means that a bright future awaits you. Today, you'll become alumni of Cal State LA. You'll join the ranks of more than 245,000 alumni and 3 million alumni of the California state system. Our outstanding alumni include tennis legend Billie Jean King, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, Congresswoman Lucille Roybal Allard, astronaut Samuel Durance, the creator of Bratz dolls, Isaac Larian. Somebody had Bratz dolls out there. Dr. Sumanta Pal, the director of the Kidney Cancer Program and Medical Oncology at City of Hope Hospital, members of the family that owns Gavinia Coffee, and members of the family that owns Porto's Bakery. Yeah. I figured there were some customers in the room. Right? All of these great people are about to become your fellow alums. And in addition, the class of 2018 includes 106 veterans who have served our nation with valor and returned to earn a degree. I would like, please, all of the veterans in the room with us today, our graduates, our parents, our family, our friends, all of you who have served the country and are now veterans, please stand and let us recognize all of you. Thank you very much. The Charter College of Education is home to our expert, distinguished in every sense of the word faculty, and 1,700 students who will become the educators of tomorrow. It's home to the Los Angeles Urban Teacher Residency Program. Okay, there's the fan club. Designed to equip math and science teachers to thrive in high-need urban schools. It's home to outstanding students like Paul Luelmo, students who understand the power of education to unlock a child's potential. Driven by a desire to make a difference here and in Mexico, Paul has focused his work and research on immigrant students with learning disabilities. As a middle school teacher, he witnessed the particular challenges faced by immigrant students with disabilities and made it his mission to help those families learn to navigate the special education system and to serve as advocates for their children. Through Paul's research, he hopes to improve training for teachers of students with autism in Mexico. And today, Paul graduates with a PhD in special education. Where is Paul? There he is. Okay. In the fall, he will become a tenure-track professor at San Diego State University. This college is home to students like Gwendolyn Scott, who are inspired to learn by their desire to help others. After a long career in the banking industry and many years serving as a caregiver, Gwendolyn took a job at a transitional center in South Central LA, working with individuals with moderate and severe autism and behavioral problems. She discovered that youth need services after they age out of the public school system, and few programs are available. She wanted to help fill that need. Gwendolyn initially came to Cal State LA to earn a certificate. But conversations with special education professor Jennifer Simon convinced her to pursue more. Gwendolyn is a mother, a grandmother, a great-grandmother, a foster mother, and she rides a candy apple red motorcycle. At 64 years old, Gwendolyn is the oldest member of the class of 2018. That must be her back there, right? Yeah. Today, Gwendolyn graduates with a Master of Arts in Special Education with an option in Autism Spectrum Disorders. Her goal is to open a transitional day facility for adults with autism and severe behavioral issues. Congratulations, Gwendolyn. You inspire us all. So graduates, you are headed out to communities that you will energize and empower with all that you've learned, with the Cal State LA values that you carry, with your experiences as a part of this rich intellectual community. That's why today's commencement is such a monumental day for communities across Los Angeles and for wherever you call home. When you walk across the stage, you're not just walking for yourself, you're walking for the places that you love. And you have a deep sense of place that is rooted here at Cal State LA. Last month, we launched the greatest fundraising effort in the university's history. We call it We Are LA, the campaign for Cal State LA. We chose that name because graduates of Cal State LA represent the best of Los Angeles because of the dedication and knowledge that you're carrying with you wherever you're headed, wherever you will live and work. Those places and those people can look forward to an even better future because of you. You're walking today for the places you love, and you're also walking for the people you love. You didn't accomplish this important goal alone. Those whose you love inspired and motivated you and helped you hold up through the tough times. In that spirit, then, I'd like to ask all the mothers and fathers of our graduates to stand and let us congratulate you. All right, let's add the grandmothers and grandfathers. Grandmothers and grandfathers. You too. Everybody stay standing. Aunts and uncles. Aunts and uncles, we want you to stand. Sisters and brothers. Nieces and nephews. Spouses. Children, and all the friends of the class of 2018. Thank you all so very much for your support and the many ways that you helped to make this day possible for your graduate. So graduates, in this story of your life, today is, as I've proposed, an unforgettable chapter. Today you stand on the peak of a great mountain, one that you've climbed, looking at the world and looking at your future. You can see other mountains around you. They represent other goals and challenges. As you face those new mountains, those new goals and challenges, please remember, don't be daunted by the heights of your dreams and challenges. During your time here, you've learned how to reach the top. You are a golden eagle, and you will soar. Congratulations, class of 2018.
Thank you, President Covino. It's an honor to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Ana Ponce. Forbes magazine named her one of the 7 most powerful educators in the world. She is the Chief Executive Officer for Camino Nuevo Charter Academy, a network of charter schools serving pre-K through 12th grade students in the greater MacArthur Park area. Under her leadership, the Camino Nuevo schools have earned widespread acclaim for academic excellence, particularly for improving outcomes for Latino English language learners. The schools won the Title I Academic Achievement Award, the California Association of Bilingual Education Seal of Excellence, and the California Distinguished Schools Award. Dr. Ponce holds a doctorate in educational leadership from Loyola Marymount University. She earned master's degrees from Teachers College, Columbia University, and UCLA. A veteran of the charter schools movement in California, Dr. Ponce serves on several boards, including the Board of California Charter Schools Association. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Ana Ponce.
Buenas tardes. Thank you, Dean Cheryl Ney and President Covino for having me here today. Congratulations, class of 2018. There should be a lot of celebrating. It truly is a celebratory day with many people coming together to celebrate with you this momentous occasion, confirming your undergraduate and graduate degrees. I am humbled to have the opportunity to share my story and hopefully inspire you to be a little bit more courageous and a little bit more willing to embrace the power of your potential to affect change in the lives of children and adults through your work in education and/or education adjacent positions. My connections to Cal State LA go back to my first year of teaching in 1991. Cal State LA partnered with 99th Street School to implement the Accelerated Schools model. From there, a team of fairly novice teachers, including Jonathan Williams, ventured to open the first startup charter school in South LA, in partnership with Cal State LA faculty. We partnered in professional development, student programming, and student enrichment. Some of my early teachers were Nancy Hunt, Simeon Slovacek, Gay Wong, and Sabrina Mims, all from Cal State LA Schools of Education. Yay, thank you. They shaped me for sure. I have met incredible educators and advocates for kids here and have high admiration for the significant contributions this institution makes on a daily basis to our communities here in Los Angeles. I am proud of Cal State LA for being highly diverse and for enrolling 56% first-generation college students, including many of Camino Nuevo alumni. These 2 data points demonstrate the institution's commitment to challenge the trends of who has access to and completes a college and/or graduate degree, and for that, I am thankful. I have the great privilege today to share with you some lessons learned from my journey as an immigrant Latina growing up in Pico Union to the CEO of Camino Nuevo Charter Academy. When I started in this journey, I had no direction I had no plan and very little knowledge of the culture of power and systemic marginalization of communities like mine. Perhaps it was my naivete and internal rage for injustice after injustice that kept me on course to attain a college degree and find my way to a career in education. A couple of years ago, I came across this quote: "Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the little voice at the end of the day that says, 'I will try again tomorrow.'" It resonated with me because roaring for justice does not always move our agenda forward. It is not giving up. It is showing up. It is trying again tomorrow and the next tomorrow that is going to move our agenda forward. As I was figuring out my leadership style, I became more aware of my place in this landscape. That is to say, I became more aware of my influence and my power, as well as the many systemic barriers that would block me as an immigrant, English learner, person of color, and woman. It was not easy, and it's still not easy. It's just easier, and you will learn to navigate the systems as well. Now I am the Chief Executive Officer of Camino Nuevo Charter Academy, a network of public schools in the greater MacArthur Park communities of Central Los Angeles. Camino Nuevo is a community of high-performing public schools that utilizes a comprehensive approach to prepare students from preschool through high school for success in college and life. We integrate academic rigor, community, family, and wellness to empower students to thrive in a culturally connected and changing world. We opened the doors to about 350 K-5 students back in August of 2000. Today, we serve over 3,600 pre-K through 12th grade students across 8 campuses and have over 1,000 alumni navigating the higher education labyrinth and in the workforce. Our story is unique because we were founded by an authentic grassroots effort led by parents to create a quality neighborhood school that was safe, welcoming, and culturally responsive. Back in 2000, we did not fit into the public school narrative because our efforts were anchored in community, humanity, and rigor. We were about creating shared ownership in communities for learning and partnering with our families in authentic ways. We are about tending to the whole child, whose family and community are integral factors in their success. Despite early criticism that our model would not work, we have experienced great successes in supporting our students and families on a college to career pathway for all. Over 90% of our students are graduating from high school every year. Over 95% of our students complete an A through G curriculum. Over 70% of our students are accepted into a 4-year college, and over 90% of our students enroll in higher education after graduation. I believe Camino Nuevo is a model system for educating English learners, immigrant Latino students to achieve their full potential. From personal experience, I believe this type of school system could exist, and I pushed myself to have the courage to make it happen. I made this kind of school possible by focusing my actions on what could be done. I helped create it, along with many others, by having the courage to stay the course every day, and especially after every setback, and there were many. Believe in what is possible. Don't settle, even against the greatest odds. I found the courage and belief in myself to create what is possible through my own story. Be courageous. Believe in what is possible, not just probable, and you will surprise yourself. I am an immigrant, and I grew up as a dreamer. I was undocumented. To this day, I see and do my work through that lens of fear and opportunity. And I understand the emotional toll it takes to fully engage in school and in community when you live in fear for yourself and your loved ones. I know that my courage, my passion, my strength and resilience for this work is anchored in my why. Many of you know a little bit about my story, at least what you read in my bio, if you did, and there's a reason for that. In truth, my story was taken from me, stolen really, by the system and my economic and cultural context. I had to distance myself from my story, my identity, my family to survive the system. In so many words, I had an identity crisis when I arrived on a college campus my freshman year. My name changed. I went from Ana Ponce to Anna Ponce. My zip code changed. People made up where I came from because Pico Union was not a place people really knew or wanted to know about. I resented my family for not being able to give me what my peers had. So I created a parallel identity. I mastered code switching between Pico Union and Middlebury, Vermont. Quite extremes. After a few years of struggle, I settled into my truth and embraced every piece of it. And my why has been very clear since then. I grew up in Pico Union, west of downtown LA, 8 blocks from one of my schools. My family emigrated from Mexico when I was a young child. I was the youngest of 7 and the first in my family to attend high school and go to college. My parents were loving and hardworking and survived the world that exists on this side of the border, not knowing how to read or write. My parents never learned English. My mother's signature was an X. My parents loved me and wanted the best for me as defined by their context and reality. They valued education in a different context. High school and college were not a reality for their children where they came from. And when here, no one cared to take the time to shift my parents' paradigm to the new opportunities offered by this country's education system. My parents' lack of context for schooling created a challenge for my educational trajectory because they did not know. They did not know how education could truly break the cycle of poverty and not just get me one step ahead of where they were. They did not know that I could achieve beyond their highest aspirations. They just did not know. Some of the parents and families we work with or will work with in urban education sometimes just do not know. And unfortunately, too many times, we as the educators judge our families instead of seeking to understand and providing the information and/or guidance needed. As leaders, and you all will walk out of here as leaders, we must remember that resiliency varies from person to person. While all people coming from challenging backgrounds need support, some just need more, especially those that are school, program, or community dependent, who will not prevail without our support. We all have the opportunity to correct a false narrative and change lives. Take that opportunity every time it crosses your path with love and care. I have come to understand that everything my parents and family did was because they loved me and cared about me, even when it conflicted with what would be best for me. I have corrected that false narrative for myself, and I attempt to correct it for as many people as I can. And from all these experiences, we learn and we grow as people and as leaders. We also acquire more privilege as we promote through the system. Who I am today is not who I was when I was a student. I am now in a position of privilege, and my lifestyle reflects that in many ways. Notwithstanding that I will always experience life as an immigrant and a Latina woman. My story brought me to today, and today I have the opportunity to contribute to many stories through my work and how I stay connected to the communities I serve. I have to be intentional about knowing when to speak and when to listen. Know the stories of those you work with and those you serve. Own your story and tell your story. Have the courage to listen to the stories, ideas, and opinions, and listen to understand both what is said and what is left unsaid. Even when we increase the representation of educational leaders that look like the students and or come from similar backgrounds, we have to challenge ourselves to always do with and not onto communities we serve. I keep this phrase very present in my work. Nothing about me without me. Remember, once we break through the system and walk across the stage like this, we are no longer walking in the shoes of many students attending urban schools. Let's make sure that we use our privilege to always give them a voice and a seat at the table. Know your story and how your story led you to where you are today. And be aware of the privilege you have acquired and be sensitive to how you represent yourself and your community. As President Obama said, change will not come if we wait for some other person or if we wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. You are the change that we seek to improve the education and life trajectory of future generations. Be courageous and believe in the change you can effect for yourself and others. Thank you for your passion and commitment to public education. Felicidades.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ponce. All right, now among the students earning baccalaureate degrees today are those who will graduate with academic honors. Dr. Diane Fazzi, Associate Dean of the Charter College of Education, will acknowledge these students. Dr. Fazzi.
The university grants the baccalaureate degree with Latin designations summa cum laude, magna cum laude, or cum laude to students who have maintained an outstanding academic record while earning their degrees. These students wear gold braids draped on their black gowns to mark their outstanding academic accomplishments. Will the candidates for graduation with honors please rise and be recognized? Please be seated. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the Chief Academic Officer of the University, Dr. Lynn Mahoney, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Mahoney.
President Covino, I present to you the candidates for degrees in the Charter College of Education. They have met all of the requirements for their respective degrees and are recommended by the university faculty who taught them.
The candidates for the Joint Doctor of Philosophy degree in Special Education here at Cal State University, Los Angeles and the University of California, Los Angeles will now be hooded on the stage.
Elizabeth Raquel Garcia de Bon. Doctor of Philosophy, Special Education.
Paul Luelmo.
All right, now the candidates for the Doctor of Education degree in Educational Leadership will be hooded on stage.
Kenneth Pamani.
Marianne Layla Francis.
Loretta Ann Johnson Smith.
Maria Lisa Flemington.
Joseph Ángel Sandoval.
Lucrecia Marie Nava.
Rochelle LaJoy Brooks.
Mercedes Perez.
Monique Chan Ohashi.
Dean Albert Ramser.
Can you see me? It's okay. Yeah, we're doing a picture.
Christian Williams.
Yanine Ardila. Master of Arts in Educational Administration.
José Eric Trejo.
Gail Marie Denham.
Sofía C. Valdés.
Sandra Almeria Quesada.
Vivian Wen Huang.
Pollyann Evelyn Bollinger Worthwine.
Priscilla Marie Avila.
Cecilio Orozco Quiñones.
Mercedes M. Buckhorn.
John Lee Maynard, Jr.
John Godinez.
Jeffrey Ara Maljian.
Jason Russell Taylor.
Edwin Rivas.
Michael Robert Mates.
Claudia A. Soto.
Sarah C. Castro.
Dyrene Maggie Flores.
Sandy de la Rosa.
Mayra Juarez.
Cynthia Lorraine Barragan.
Gloria Cristina Oliva.
Mónica Martínez.
Anna Marie Getherell Hubert.
Sylvia Lynn Matson.
Enrique Avila.
Diori Rafael Jones.
Joel McKimson.
Gabriel Eduardo López.
Joel Ravelo.
María del Rosario Torres.
Carolina Elizabeth Burgos.
Patricia Patiño.
Yesenia Yamin Ibarra.
Master of Arts in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages.
Alexandra Barrett Berry.
Sabrina McLean.
Wala Mohammed Gassim.
Kimberly Cobian.
Jason Thomas Wagoner.
Master of Arts in Education.
Yvette Golar.
Tony Toe.
Alvin Liu.
Desiree G. Alvarado.
Grace Chu.
Vincent Trong.
Regina Lee.
Gilbert Anthony Cepeda.
Scott Dumke.
Malik Eric McMillian.
Maricela Aguilera.
Lillian Ann Lee.
Cindy Lopez Islas.
Charles Wyatt Benemoff.
Chevenise Ophelia Turner.
Christina Nicole Timko.
Manuel Ruiz Jr.
Natalie Marie Duran.
Jocelyn Aure.
Alicia Dawn Stanko.
Valerie Grace Pittman.
Jacqueline Recinos.
Jamie Nettles.
Berta Alicia Carvajal.
Gloria Calderon.
Cindy Elizabeth Castellanos.
Terry Lee Renee Stewart.
Erica Shanail Brown.
Michelle Yee.
Susan Tran.
Stephanie Gonzalez.
Mayra Alejandra Sabas.
Andy Onyate.
Madlena K. Gorian.
Crystal Eloisa Moreno.
María Isabel Martínez.
Claudia Vera Rosas.
Fides Leia Tolentino Soto.
Lauren Calta.
Jessica Marie Cárdenas.
Anush Mikaelian.
Audra Whaley Rubin.
Samantha Rose Owens.
Lorraine Bustamante Torres.
Yesenia Lopez.
Bebe Chow.
Patrick Aceves.
René Rodríguez.
Carl Littlejohn Jr.
Ricardo Francisco Cruz.
Marcela Quintanilla.
José Cruz Ramírez.
Sydney Shallett Risk.
María Arellano.
Master of Arts in Special Education.
Cecilia Martínez.
Cecilia Monique Briceño.
Janice Ann Para.
Karina Marie McNeil.
Susana L. Pardavé Burques.
Reham Algamdi.
Lisette Tatiana Iribe.
Gwendolyn Sue Scott.
Angela Vanessa Taka Ba.
Beatriz Cortez.
Christiane Sarah Cordova.
Natalie Lynn Brown.
Magali Caro Silva.
Cecilia Ibarra.
Esmeralda Ortiz.
Daisy Diaz.
Lisette Adrián Pérez.
Sally Ortiz.
Adriana Villarreal Sánchez.
Esther Unju O.
Bianca Zubia.
Gabriela Carrillo.
Annie Gazarian.
Crystal Robinson White.
Marisa Janet Lozano.
Carla Perez.
Araceli Preciado.
Evelyn Hernandez.
Ruth Jimenez.
Sarah Danielle Guzman.
Christy Nicole Rodriguez.
Melina Carvajal.
Deanna L'Oreal Baldwin.
Eric Brandon West.
Héctor Jacinto.
Cecilia Andrade.
Jui Su.
Katie Elizabeth Palace.
Janet Arana.
Emily Faber.
Master of Arts Education.
Melissa Diana Rodriguez.
María Luisa Hernández.
Angie Barrera Alonso.
Sofía Teresa Valeth.
Gabriela Gasca.
Raúl Meneses Semperio.
Mayra Edith Carrillo Munoz.
Leticia Pérez.
Catherine Ray Gilbreth.
Master of Arts in Counseling.
Catherine E. Vasquez.
Cynthia Tannery.
Brandy Roxana Hernandez.
Destiny Justin Padilla.
Susan Han Doe.
Karen Lorena González.
Sylvie Hong.
Brittany Michelle Merced.
Kim Hong.
Felicia Michelle Howe.
Nancy Xiomara Landaverde.
Inés Estela Villacorta.
Aline Zaragoza.
Selam Sebatu.
Katrina Cindy Nan.
Michelle Frances Connors.
Debbie Huang.
Carol Stacy Santa Cruz.
Kyla McLaughlin.
Andrea Helen Nell.
Joshua Trevino.
Patrick Ibrahimian.
Vincent Sun.
David Enrique Martinez.
Henry Surkey.
Stella Rose Day.
Alana Christine Naro.
Lisette Marcela Boorquez.
True Field.
Jordan Yassine.
Angela Guevara.
Elizabeth Ortiz.
Alia Ilasmar.
Kathleen Melissa Funes.
Rosalyn Perez.
José Manuel Guardado.
Shannon Jennifer Fernando.
Nadine Mary Colo.
David Banuelos.
Marisa Carmen Durán.
Cynthia Catalina Martinez Garcia.
Valerie Genoveva Llerenas.
Ashley Armendaris.
Tony Charlene Didier.
Venus Angel Perez.
Oliva Lairanet Montellano.
Martha Janet Munoz.
Carissa Avila.
Denise Kimberly Munoz.
Keith William Black.
Jonathan Maurice Davis.
Salvador Joshua Murillo.
Brian F. Chan.
Roger Ramon Laskowski.
Ketis Getahun Eggsy.
Leslie Leanne Bernal.
Sadok Siles Baez.
Tong Ann Tran.
Leticia Miramontes.
Jessica Rose Lemon.
Michelle Figueroa.
Tashi Miller.
Leila Teresa Ferrero.
Jessica Lynn Hoban.
Kathleen Gomez.
Chauncey Sherman.
Deanna Garay.
Alberto Aranda.
Carilla Clements.
Joy Miriam Chow.
Alondra Tejeda.
Jennifer Songsuk Ree.
Rocio Salgado.
Diana Rocio Martinez.
Sarah Elizabeth Shore.
Ellie Kaya Schwartz.
Yuritsi Gomez Serrano.
Chantal Teresa Pete.
Robert Florentino Pascual.
Priscilla Amanda Morales.
Vanessa Taryn Moreno.
Michelle Medina May.
Vivian Lee.
Kendall Brooke Obra.
Celia Fang.
Dulce Rocio Gomez.
Maria del Rocio Gauna.
Jessica Da Silva.
Joseph Hamilton.
Ashley Yvonne Crisp Gray.
Bachelor of Arts in Urban Learning.
Carola Sanchez.
Watch your back. All right, now the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees will now be presented on stage.
Carola Sanchez.
Myrta Pineda.
Daniel Peter Gomez.
Maria Herrera.
Tanya Victoria Tornero.
Jacqueline Martinez.
Gerardo Pérez.
Jacqueline Lisette Buena.
Emily Marie Ortiz.
Marine Way.
Jeanette Madrigal.
Alma Leovigilda Morales.
Vanity Daisy Amano.
Maria Tomase Cavigas.
Angélica Cecilia Mata.
Jacqueline Magali Valenzuela.
Elizabeth Showakey.
Cindy Curiel.
Kimberly Roxanne Vallejo.
Shannon Diane Pua.
Mayra Alejandra Diaz.
Sarah Bagdasarian.
Jennifer Alexa Madrigal.
Selena Delilah Munoz.
Adriana Cecilia Quiroz.
Zeltsin Damar Galvan Diaz.
Jessica Damares Rivas.
Tess Marie Cocorni.
María Elena Aldave Cabrera.
Jeffrey Jungmin Kang.
Melissa Ansaldo.
Maria Cristina del Real.
Rubí Armendaris.
Brianna Rosario Arroyo.
Valerie Rodríguez.
Kenya Maria Pineda.
Alfredo Pérez.
Joshua Anton Salazar.
Laverne Samuel Martin Jr.
Katie Elizabeth Martinez Lopez.
María Guadalupe Torres.
Amber Aparicio.
Cynthia Gándara Durán.
Sarah Ann Jaramillo.
José María Vega Delgadillo.
Tiffany Marie Sendejas.
Desiree Marie Gutierrez.
Lindsay Huxford.
Iris Marquam Johnson.
Mariska Dialani.
Roger Evander Buena.
Lena Marie Williams Vallarta.
Suzanne Louise Halterman.
Magdalena Cruz.
Suji Chong.
Grecia Perez Verduzco.
Nelly Jareli Flores Torres.
Nicole Patrice Angeleri.
Erica Arellano.
Tiffany Brianna Curry.
Bachelor of Science in Rehabilitation Services.
Anessa Lee Reed.
Lucia Vasquez.
Catarina Vidania.
Amy Otero.
Diana Frias.
Janeth Alondra Hernandez.
Grace Velia Sanchez.
Jesslyn Charlize Chapman.
Elizabeth Martinez Ortega.
Karina Lozano.
Vanessa Pedraza.
Sean Thomas Cutting.
Kelly Salguero.
Karen Lorena Benitez.
Jacqueline Jasmine Godoy.
Cristina Marie Corona Salinas.
Amy Monique Barrientos.
George Molina Jr.
Cecilia Maria Esquivel.
Jesus León.
Miguel Angel Ruiz.
Esmeralda González.
Alexis Luis.
Brian Leonel Galvez.
Catherine Joanna Alcaruri.
Remberto Montes.
Iskra Martinez.
Emilia Feliz Rojas.
Gary Mungu Cheng.
Roxana Marlene Hernandez.
Alex Gustavo Hernandez.
Alma G. Alfaro.
Jesus Lopez.
Silvia Montaño.
Karina Galindo.
Beatriz González.
Javier Sepúlveda.
Natalie Estrada Pantoja.
Elia Orozco Luviano.
Marissa Samantha Lopez.
Isamar Mendoza.
Blanca Elena Lainez.
Forrest Cleveland.
Sengyan Man Lee.
Maria Luisa Sanchez.
Mónica Casas.
Daphne Perdomo.
Liliana Márquez.
Todd Nakahara.
Enrique de la Torre Vizcarra.
Monica Sanchez.
Mayra Alexandra Garcia.
Laura Yanet Dufau.
Mónica Ortiz.
Marlene Almanza.
Paola Raquel Sánchez.
Baldwin Lee.
Jenny Ojeda González.
Emily Janeth Martinez.
That's it. Okay. All right. Just sit down for a minute. That was the dress rehearsal. Commencement will be beginning in another 10. No. Sorry. I'd like the candidates for the doctoral degrees to please rise for the conferral of degrees. By the authority vested in me by the state of California and by the trustees of the California State University, I hereby confer upon you the doctoral degree for which you qualify, with all the rights, privileges, and honors pertaining thereto. Congratulations. Will the candidates for the master's degrees please rise? All right. Okay, here we go. The trick, was getting the hood on correctly, and you all did beautifully. That was the final exam. By the authority vested in me by the state of California and by the trustees of the California State University, I hereby confer upon you the master's degree for which you qualify, with all the rights, privileges, and honors pertaining thereto. Congratulations. All right, we're going to ask you to be seated, and we're going to ask the Baccalaureate Degree candidates to stand up. All right. By the authority vested in me by the state of California and by the trustees of the California State University, I hereby confer upon you the baccalaureate degree for which you qualify, with all the rights, privileges, and honors pertaining thereto. Graduates, you can now move your tassel from the right to the left. Congratulations.
You can sit. Very good. All right. Now, I would like to thank all of the university staff, faculty, students, and volunteers involved in organizing the 2018 CCOE commencement ceremony. And we should also acknowledge the members of the Honors Convocation and Commencement Advisory Committee. Let's give them our thanks. All right, one last piece of business. At this time, the university hymn will be performed by Cal State LA student Ana Rangel, who will be accompanied by the Cal State LA Brass Quintet. The lyrics may be found inside your program.
Keep